What are the allowable proof of funds in Canada Express Entry? Government skilled specialist candidates under the Express Entry application pool must show that they will have adequate proof of funds to help themselves and their families once they move to Canada. Candidates must have enough cash to pay the expenses of living for both themselves and their families regardless of whether the other relatives are not moving to Canada. The repayment reserves can't be acquired from someone else and the cash must be liberated from any liabilities. Candidates must give confirmation of adequate settlement assets at the visa office of their nation of origin when they apply to move to Canada. The measure of cash required to meet this necessity relies upon the size of the candidate's family and the sums due can change each year. As a major aspect of your PR application to Canada, you should show verification of assets or proof of funds. These assets are your methods for supporting yourself and your family. It would be ideal if you note that you need to show these assets and need not provide for anyone for your movement procedure. For instance, as a solitary candidate, you would be required to show $12,960, which is the necessary sum for one applicant, and $3,414 be added for each additional family member. 2020 update. This number of relatives ought to be coordinated with the non-exclusive application structure. What is the settlement fund? Candidates most of the time ask whether fortunate assets could be a piece of the settlement support. It is extremely straightforward in an accompanying way. Resources equals apartment plus land plus car plus settlement fund. Liability equals liability amount. Settlement fund equals checkings, current savings account in banks plus fixed deposit plus provident fund plus stock investment plus mutual fund. Responsibility for everything got the opportunity to be claimed 100% by you or your life partner or together by both. Reports, documents for settlement reserves are required. Continuously attempt to give the most recent balance certificate and half-year bank articulations. What would I be able to present as a proof of funds? Worthy verification of assets as ledgers in your name or the name of your going with companion, precedent-based law accomplice. 1. Cash capable interests in your name or the name of your going with life partner, custom-based law accomplice. 2. Cash capable fixed stores in your name or the name of your companion, precedent-based law accomplice. It is important to know that the following kind of fiancial balances are not adequate: bank records in another person's name, financial balances which are joined in your name and another person other than your going with mate, precedent-based law accomplice, bank records for the sake of your life partner who isn't going with you to Canada, property valuations, vehicle valuations, jewelry valuations. Summarily, anything that can't be effectively exchanged can't be utilized as evidence of assets. Would I be able to convey my POF in real money to Canada? You are not required to convey every one of your assets in real money when you land in Canada. You are, in any case, required to show narrative proof that you have the assets accessible and that they can be moved to Canada. A port of entry official in Canada may look to affirm these assets before confirming your permanent residency alongside your wards. Would I be able to use borrowed cash from somebody as POF? It is very important to note that getting cash for verification of assets and imagining those assets are yours when they are not, is a deception in light of the fact that you will be swindling the framework, which is unreasonable on other genuine candidates. It is additionally out of line on the Canadian welfare framework when you land in Canada with obtained cash which isn't yours. It is out of line on yourselves to put further strain on what will as of now be a money-related battle. You should show that you have enough cash to help yourself and your wards after you land in Canada. You can't obtain this cash from someone else as unequivocally expressed by CIC. Do I have to show a half-year balance? CIC doesn't expect you to show a 6 months balance. You just need to show the presently accessible parity in your record. Be that as it may, sometime later, your neighborhood visa office will most likely demand you to submit bank proclamations for as far back as 4 to 6 months. Any enormous deluge or surge of money will raise a warning. Again, this is one of those things that is the right of the visa office and the allocated visa official and can shift starting with one then onto the next about how much they examine your application. Try not to acquire your settlement support. On the off chance that in this way the visa office asked half-year proclamations, they will see the unexpected singular amount of cash being saved, and without legitimate clarification, they may dismiss your application. Note that any singular amount of cash is joined by an intricate letter of clarification.